Back to another video or tutorial video today. Today I'm going to be showing you how to remove finger saves out of a glove.
My man said, "Why should I marry my girl?" He said, "Wait up, hold up. She fly, love God, and she got."
Before you do this, make sure you have permission or you watch the full video and actually do it correctly. I am not responsible for any accidents. I'm going to say that straight up, alright? I don't want to get any emails about that. You're going to need 3 things. Number 1 is a razor blade. Very sharp. Be careful. I have cut myself before. It's not fun. You will also need a lighter, preferably a lighter over a match, because lighters, although the same thing and a little bit and more dangerous, are easy to control. Also a sewing machine, which will be in the next room over. I will be using a sewing kit because I do not personally own a sewing machine, just because it's a bit pricey and not very practical to have. So first things first, again, disclaimer alert, I will not be responsible for any damages and any butt whoopings from your parents catching you mid-process cutting up your gloves. Now what you're going to want to do is open up the glove a little bit, allow yourself a little bit more space, and you're going to want to take your razor blade, and if you notice that below this glove, especially the Lupos gloves, you will see a little bit of stitching there. That's what you're going to want to cut. You want to get your razor blade and kind of hook it under it, I guess is what you can say, and just pull up and cut it. You're going to want to do that with every single one of these overlapping stitching pattern, I guess is what you can say. Doing it one by one will help you be able to be a lot cleaner with this process, because you want to save the little holes that are left there so you can stick the needle back in there and keep the same pattern. Now I'm just going to speed it up here because it does take quite a bit of time. Now that you've cut all the stitching, you will now be able to open up the glove. Now take this moment to actually be able to look in the glove, because it is quite interesting to see and like feel the foam that's in there. At least that for me it is, because it's really soft in there. It was honestly like a winter glove. I enjoyed it. I didn't want to stick my hand in there completely, just in fear that I was going to rip open the glove. Now the first thing I did, of course, was take out the finger saves, and now you have a finger saveless glove. Again, be careful now, because now that there is no finger save, you have little to no protection other than the padding of the glove and your form. Now we're into my room, and here's my little sewing kit. This is really cheap. It only cost me $1 at Dollar Trees. So if you're worried about that, literally just save up a couple, like 100 pennies, maybe 7 cents, and just go to the Dollar Tree and buy some. This kit was perfect. It had everything in it. I was lucky enough to find one that had white string. The string is perfect because it's white and it will match what I had cut out before. Now just looking inside it again, because this will be the last time you'll be able to see it. Now you can actually leave it open. I just didn't want to because it just didn't look good to me personally, and that's my reason for it. You can leave it open if you don't want to stitch it back. Now I'm just going to pick a needle out. I picked the one with the biggest hole because I do not want to spend 30 minutes just getting into a teeny tiny hole. If anybody's ever sewed before, you know the struggle of just getting it back in that stupid hole. Now that I've chosen my needle, I want to cut out my string, not yarn. There really isn't a measurement to it. I just got a fair sized piece of it, and I even took the little El Cheapo scissors it came with, and I used that. Again, there is no real length. I just kind of stretched it out over the glove, and I added a little bit extra just to be safe, because having more is better, because you can just trim it rather than having less, because then you'd have to tie it in the middle of it, and it's just not a good mix. Now for the painful process of putting the string inside of the hole. Now this is a part where if you've already cut it and you have your parents' permission, especially your mom and she's done this before and she's familiar with it, or your grandma, really, just ask her, hey, can you do this for me real quick? And I'm pretty sure she'll get it done real quick. I'm just going to speed up this because it does take me a while. Now that I have the string inside of my needle, again, as I said before, see these little holes there? That's where all the pre-stitching was. You're going to want to follow these holes not by exact. I did just so it can come out a little bit cleaner, but you don't have to. You can do every other one if you're just in a rush or being lazy. Now what I did was actually fold the wrist strap over just so I have a little bit more breathing room, and it just makes life a little bit easier. I recommend doing this because if you don't, you're going to be having to stick your hand a little bit deeper, and there is a chance of poking yourself with the needle, and you don't want that to happen. Now I'm going to speed it up and just keep a close eye on how I do, because I do hole for hole just to get a cleaner look. Now with the last hole done and over, here comes the most satisfying part of it all. Now you can take a look back and look at all your beautiful stitching. I'm not the best, but it works. Now what we want to do is take the leftover string and cut it, but not too little where it can actually slip back out of the hole and start causing problems, but you don't want to leave too much because then it's just a bother. Now you want to take the leftover string that's there and burn it. What the burning does is it leaves a little bit of like a burnt edge on it, a burnt tip, which just makes it harder for the string to start going back inside the hole and just unraveling itself. I'd be careful because it can actually burn the backhand of your glove, so I held it on for a little bit too long, and that's my fault. I regret it. Also make sure not to, light your glove on fire, because I almost just did. Now make sure you burn it on both sides so it doesn't go one way or the other. Now you're pretty much done. There's nothing really left to do, and now you can enjoy your gloves that now do not have finger saves. And that's pretty much the video. Try them on too, just to make sure that when you put them on, the stitching isn't just gonna rip off and you're gonna have to redo it somewhere on the field. It's better to test them out, give them pick up a ball and just mess around with it, get a feel for it, because you may have tightened up the glove or you may have loosened the glove. It just depends on how hard you are stitching. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I actually did. Also, big shout out to Lupos Goalkeeping for letting me use their gloves for this video. I'll have a link in the description for their gloves. Amazing gloves. I will have a review out soon. Also, follow me on Instagram. I have my tag name on the top right corner, and I'll have a link in the description. Also, I didn't mention this earlier, follow Lupos in their Instagram as well. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe for more. And yeah.
My man said, "Why should I marry my girl?" He said, "Wait up, hold up." She fly, love God, and she got